Hey, what the heck is the matter with you, huh? Why were you hanging out around one of our important clients?
Oh, Kelly, I have to say, I didn't expect to run into you.
I know, right? The last time I saw you was at high school graduation about 10 years ago. Who knew that I would bump into you again like that?
Yep, I was definitely surprised, to say the least. I really thought that I'd seen the last of you. But I guess the world is funny like that. I would have never thought to run into you at my husband's company, of all places.
Wait, what? Your husband's company? What are you talking about?
Well, I actually got married last year, and the man I got married to owns the company you saw me at. He told me that he had forgotten some important documents at home, so I was just dropping them off. I guess that his secretary was sick and called out, so he didn't have anyone else he could ask.
No. Oh, this can't be right. You have got to be lying. I mean, are you actually telling me that you're married to a company president? And not just any company president, but the president of one of our most valuable partners? How in the world did someone like you manage that?
First of all, I would like to remind you that I am also a representative of this company as well.
So then you really help out your husband with all of his business?
I mean, I do when he asks it of me, but normally I stay at home and take care of our family. So there aren't actually many days when I'm really going into the office. I actually just happened to be in there at the same time that you happened to show up.
I see. Well, you certainly have changed, haven't you? You aren't that little crybaby that wouldn't stop yelling after she found out I stole her boyfriend from her. Instead, you're an uppity snob who thinks they're better than me because of who their husband is.
Do you really think I've changed that much since back then? Of course, I do remember how much it hurt me when I found out what you had done. So, yes, perhaps I have grown up and matured from this just a little. And I guess I learned that there are a lot of fish in the sea, so it wasn't really worth crying over a guy who cheated on me anyways.
You really must think that the world revolves all around you now, huh? You really have changed. After all, I remember even after I did steal your boyfriend, you still had the guts to show your ugly face in school day after day after that. Oh man, I'm actually starting to crack up laughing just thinking about how it used to be back then.
That's fine. And if you think it's funny, you should laugh. After all, it's all behind us now. And I'm afraid that your petty bullying just isn't going to work on me anymore.
You really are such a bore now. Do you know that? But you're right. The past is the past, and I need to be thinking about what to do next.
What to do next? What do you mean by that?
Well, I just wonder how you'd react if I stole your husband like I stole your boyfriend. That would just really crush you.
Are you serious?
Of course I am. I've made up my mind and I know what I have to do, so you can kiss your little marriage goodbye. I'm going to steal your husband and turn you back into that crying, scared little girl you were in high school. Then you'll be so crushed that you'll think twice about trying to get with a guy above your post.
I really can't believe that you're actually telling me all of this.
Oh, come on. Did you really think that you were going to get your happily ever after with this guy? That's just in movies. Besides, if anyone deserves that kind of life, it's me. You may have fallen in love with this guy by chance, but when it comes to stealing men away from their partners, no one is better than me. And then once I've made your husband mine, I'll be the wife of the company president.
Hey Iris, I just wanted to thank you again for your help today. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't brought in those documents.
Well, I'm just glad that I was able to be of some help to you today. It had been so long since the last time I was in there that I had forgotten how big the building was. I always get so nervous walking through those big entrance doors.
Well, you know that we're actually working on an expansion project right now, right? By the way, who was it you were talking to in the office today? Did you run into someone that you knew or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. It was actually a girl I used to go to high school with. Apparently, she's working with a company that you partner with.
Oh, I see. Well, wow, what a coincidence. Sometimes the world is just a little too small, don't you think? It seemed like you guys had quite a bit to talk about. But anyways, I'd love to hear about your day. How about I take you out for dinner to say thanks for helping me out? I feel like it's been so long since you and I were able to go on a nice quiet date by ourselves.
Oh, you don't have to do that, Zeke. And as for that woman, I'll be happy if I never see her again.
Wait, what? What's the matter with her?
Don't you remember? I had mentioned her to you before. She was the girl from high school who stole my boyfriend from me. I had really hoped that I would never have to deal with her again. Until today, that is.
You mean that was her? So what I thought was you having a friendly conversation was really...
That's right. I'd done my best to avoid her ever since we graduated. I wasn't expecting to run into her at all. But when I did, I guess that I just kind of froze up. Anyways, I ended up mentioning to her that you and I were married.
Oh, wow. I'm really sorry that happened then. And to think that you wouldn't have managed to avoid her if I hadn't asked for a favor of you.
You really don't need to blame yourself. After all, I'm not the person I was back then, and I'm so happy to be married to you. But I just think that you should be careful, okay? Because apparently Kelly decided to make you her next target.
Her next target? What does that mean? Why should I be careful?
Well, she threatened to try and steal you from me like she did with my boyfriend in school. I guess she wants to take my place as the wife of the company president.
What? Are you serious? What is this lady's deal?
That's what I'm saying. This is why I was trying to avoid her for this long. If she hasn't improved at all since high school, then I think it's fair to say that she's only gotten worse.
I mean, it's one thing to pull that kind of thing in high school, but we're all adults now. And she works for a company that we partner with? What is she thinking trying to get with a married man like me? That's just so stupid. I mean, does she not realize the effect that trying something like that could have on her career over there?
I don't really think that she is the kind of person to think before she speaks. But I also doubt that she would change her mind once she's announced that she's going to do something. That's why I'm telling you to be careful.
Right. Well, I guess I'll keep my eye out for her and try to stay away. Thank you so much for warning me about this. I really don't want to get suckered into any of this lady's scheme, so I'll be careful.
Just thought you should know that your husband is all mine now, so be a good girl and let me marry your company president husband. I already have the divorce paperwork drawn up, so let's not drag this out, okay?
What in the world are you talking about this time?
Oh, you'd find out soon enough, so I'm just telling you now. I have stolen your husband, and now he is obsessed with me. Of course, I'm not all that surprised that a man like him would see the value in being with a woman like me.
Literally, what in the world are you talking about, Kelly? I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
Remember how I told you I was going to steal your husband? Well, I've gone and done it, and now we're going to get married, and I'll be the wife of the company president.
Are you sure that you've gone and done it? Because I don't think you have. In fact, I know that my husband would never ever betray me like that, so please be serious with me.
If you don't want to believe me, then that's your fault. But it's the truth. Your husband is head over heels in love with me. And as proof, he even invited me out for a lovely dinner date last night. So what do you think about that?
You're telling me that my husband invited you out on a date?
That's right. I had tried sending him so many messages and emails, and he never got back to me at all. So I decided it would be best to talk to him face to face. I went into the building to go to his office, and we ended up riding in the same elevator by chance. I took that chance to tell him who I was and confess my feelings for him.
You confessed your feelings to my husband?
That's right. And then he said that he liked my passion and invited me to a lovely restaurant with a view of the city. That means that he likes me back. And that's why I am so sorry to say, but the two of us are going to spend one hot night together. As for you, well, you can just enjoy a lonely night at home all by yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about, but my husband is not going to go on any date with you. And I certainly don't think he's said anything to express that he had feelings for you. So I'm still not quite sure why you think that you've successfully stolen him from me. If he even has invited you to dinner, I wouldn't read too much into that.
You really just don't understand anything at all, do you? Why would a man invite someone other than his wife out for dinner? Obviously, it's because he's much more attracted to that woman than he is to his own wife.
Are you serious?
Of course. The only reason a man would go out to eat with a woman who wasn't his wife is if he was trying to have an affair with her. Sure, he might understand that others might see doing something like that as taboo, but the fact that he invited me proves just how much he really likes me. And if he likes me enough to go on a public date with me, then you and him are as good as done. He doesn't like you anymore. We're going to get married, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so just like I stole your boyfriend in high school, now I've stolen your company president husband. So why don't you start crying already, you loser?
The only crying that's happening is out of laughter. My husband and I are both cracking up at these.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
I mean that we're laughing so hard that tears are streaming down our faces. It hurts to laugh. Oh man, we were actually laughing so hard I think I pulled something. Now, hold on just one moment. What do you mean your husband is there with you? Of course he is. The office is closed today and he didn't have anything in his schedule book. We just ordered pizza and have been staying at home basically all day. Wait, but then I don't get it. Why is he choosing to have dinner with you and not me? He told me that he was going to take me out to an amazing restaurant with a view of the city. It's only a little longer until the time when he and I were supposed to meet. He's not really going to ditch me, is he?
You really need to wake up and live in reality with the rest of us. I never once said that I was going out to dinner with you.
Wait a second, is this Mr. Masterson?
That's right. And I must say I was blown away by our interaction in the elevator. I mean, you basically cornered me and refused to let me off until I agreed to what you were saying. You forced me to ask you out to dinner, but I was never actually going to go through with that.
Wait a second, I don't get it. I thought you were asking me out because you liked me.
I only asked you out because I wanted to get off that damn elevator. I had a very important conference call that I was trying to make and I wasn't going to let you hold me up.
But, I mean, this can't be right.
It wasn't right. I don't even remember what time I said we'd meet or where.
That can't be right. You said that you were going to meet me in an hour.
Well, okay then. Wait an hour and see if I show up anywhere. Just don't be surprised if your boss shows up instead of me.
My boss? What are you talking about? Why would he be there?
I know that I said that I would think of a place with a good view of the city, but I certainly didn't say I'd make a reservation. Anyways, the place I had in mind was your boss's office. He has quite a good view of the city at night, right?
My boss's office? What are you talking about? Wait a second. My boss's car just pulled up. What the heck is going on here? I thought that you were obsessed with me, and that's why you wanted to go out on a date with me, right? I thought that you were trading Iris in for me.
Why in the world would I ever want to be with someone like you? You spam my email with all kinds of crazy messages and cornered me in the elevator in my own company. You can bet that I showed your boss all those emails and the security footage of the elevator. He's the one who suggested speaking with you.
Did he really say that? Why would you do this to me?
I was willing to overlook the emails, to be honest with you, but I didn't think that you would actually try and confront me face to face. And I figured that if I was going to be dealing with someone willing to do that I would need to bring in some extra support.
So that's why you went and told my boss about what I was doing? I thought that we were going to keep our love private at first. How could you go and get my boss involved in what's supposed to be between you and I?
You still just don't get it at all, do you? I'm the president of a company that is very important to the survival of your company. Did you really think anything positive was going to come out of harassing me like you did?
But, I mean, I didn't think I was harassing you.
If you really didn't think that was harassment, then you're only making me feel better about involving your boss. In fact, we were going to try and handle this during work hours, but I told him about the business with the elevator and fake date, and he agreed to talk to you now.
This can't be happening. Things weren't supposed to go this way. Please, you have to help me. Can't we just calm down and talk about this? Oh, surely you must see how much prettier I am than Iris, right? I am much more suited to be the wife of the company president.
If anyone needs to calm down and think things through, it's you. Besides, why would I want to be with you again after all this time?
Be with me again? What are you talking about?
You really don't remember? We used to date in high school. We had actually been dating about a year before you left me. In fact, I remember the day that you left me because it was actually the day that you told me you were with Iris's ex-boyfriend. Well, anyways, it turns out that Iris and I were in some after-school clubs together, and that experience helped push us closer.
Wait a second. You mean you're Zeke from high school?
Ding, ding, ding. I had actually completely forgotten about you until Iris brought you up. It took a while for it all to come back to me, but if you thought that someone like you could ever replace Iris, you're crazy. I mean, do you really think that adults act like that? We're not in school anymore. You need to realize that.
But what's going on? I had no idea that you owned your own company. You're so different than how you used to be.
Well, I don't know what to tell you except that people change over time. I'd like to think that most people improve, but you show me it's possible for people to only get worse as well. Anyways, I don't want to keep your boss waiting any longer than he needs to. And while you deal with whatever consequences he sought up for you, I'm going to enjoy a lovely, quiet night in with my wife. Have a nice life, Kelly.
After that, Zeke was informed by Iris's boss that after their discussion, he had decided to let her go. What happened next really shocked me. It turns out that Iris was actually carrying on an affair with her boss and that his wife was quite suspicious. The wife hired a PI to uncover more about her husband's affair and found out about him and Kelly. Then she sued the both of them for their affair. Meanwhile, more of Iris's affairs came to light and lawsuits from upset spouses began to pour in. In the end, Kelly was buried in legal debts that she couldn't afford and lacked the income to pay them off. She quickly started working some part-time jobs and moved into a tiny apartment where she can afford to make payments on her debts. Kelly thought that as an adult, she could act the way she did when she was nothing but a high school bully. She may have even gotten away with it for a little, but her luck was bound to run out. Ever since then, Kelly's been too busy to ever try and bother us again. But that works out just fine for Zeke and I. We couldn't be happier.
Hey, Ruth. Why are you in an apartment building like this one? Only those that live here are allowed to be walking around like that inside the building doors. This is not the place for a sad woman like you. What? I saw you coming out of the same building that my apartment is in just a second ago. I didn't get a good look at your face, but the way you look from behind is just the way I remember you. As your little sister, I've seen every square inch of you and know what your behind looks like. You must have been looking around a lot, because on my way out I didn't notice you anywhere. Did you miss your old place so much that you came all the way over here to see it again? You had been living in that building forever up until 6 years ago, right? Well, it's been 6 years since you had to go, so that apartment is no longer yours. The only place you have now is a cardboard box in the park somewhere. Now you hurry home before it gets too dark out to find your way. Excuse me? I know that your life must suck right now, Ruth, even though you used to have yourself a husband working at a very professional trades company and an apartment inside that building. But you lost all of that to your own little sister. And after having both your house and husband stolen by me, you became homeless, right? Your life took a major 180 and you never recovered from it, right? Sure, because of you, my life had been sucking for a long time. That's why I was really hoping that I'd never have to even think about you or that stupid face of yours again. But now I'm having to talk with you again, 6 years after what crimes you've committed. It's your fault for hanging out inside my apartment building. Now tell me, why did you come here? Don't tell me that you only came here to get a breath of this fresh air that us rich people get to breathe every day, right? What does it matter to you, Indy? My life means nothing to you, so you can just leave me alone now. Did you come here looking for Julian? Oh, you came all the way here thinking that you could get back together with him? Well, that's never happening. What kind of man would want to get back together with his homeless and Digny ex-wife? Did you just call me Digny? I only got a glance at you on your way out, but you looked pretty freaking gross to me. I remember how beautiful you were back when you first got married to Julian. You always wore some of the most amazing clothes, and it made me so jealous that you could afford all those brands. But today, the Ruth that I saw was anything but beautiful, and definitely not someone I wanted to become jealous of. I'm sure all that clothing you had on came from a Salvation Army or something. Why have I just been sitting here letting you run your mouth like that? You always just sit here putting me down, and there's not a single word coming out of your mouth that is worth my time. If you don't want me putting you down anymore, then how about you stop being homeless? If you can't stop, then not only can you forget about getting back together with Julian, but you can also forget seeing him at all. I don't need that kind of lousy man back in my life. Sure. You're just saying that. You came all the way here trying to get him back. Well, that's too bad, because from here on out, I'm gonna make sure you're never allowed inside that apartment building ever again. It's already trespassing for you to be here without living here, so I'm going to let the front desk know about you now so that they'll be on the lookout.
Yo, Ruth, it sounds like you stopped by our apartment building today. Is it true that you came all the way back here just to try to win me back or something?
So Indy talked with you about that. Well, sorry to say this, but I wasn't there to meet with your toxic butt. So please stop thinking that you're really worth that much for me to still be thinking about.
Then tell me why the heck you were here. I'm sure you are becoming a little bit turned on now since it's me of all people who started texting you again, right? Can you please say to you, I have been wanting to see you for so long.
Huh?
Well, I'm sad to hear that you came all the way here looking for me. I am not the kind of man who's willing to get back together with some dirty woman who ended up becoming homeless because of her sister. You are a loser, which means you are not meant to be my wife.
That's why I told you I didn't go there to meet with you. Even if you asked me to get back with you, I never would because I actually have pride in myself, and I would never go back to someone who cheats.
Then tell me why you came to our apartment building today.
Why does it matter to you? It had nothing to do with you and Indy.
No, it doesn't matter to us though. I live in this building, and I'm going to become the owner of this apartment building as well.
What?
And I don't want some dingy homeless woman coming into my future high-end apartment building. What would happen if this building's value began to plummet because of a gross woman like yourself?
Wait a second. Julian, you're going to become the owner of that apartment building?
Yeah. I want to get my hands on whatever I please. And I've always wanted to live in a penthouse of this building with all the floors underneath it being mine. But the owner of this building never gives it up to me, no matter how much I offer to pay for it. I think as long as I get another million or two to hand over, I can make him bend and give it to me.
Seems your pride and cohesive have not changed one bit since the last time we talked.
Us men should be all pushy to some extent. Yeah, there's this old bastard who owns this place is getting in the way of my dream. He's nothing but a loser, yet he won't jump on any of my high offers for this place. There's no reason for such an old fart to be living in and owning such a high-rise, high-end apartment building.
I'm pretty sure with him being the owner, he gets to choose who lives in that building and who doesn't, right? It's because you say such terrible things like that he won't sell you this building.
Shut it. I'm not listening to anything a homeless loser like yourself has to say about this.
Excuse me?
Are you done here? I don't want you ever coming into this apartment building ever again. Having even one homeless person walking around in this building will ruin its value for good, and it will be worth nothing to me. If this building ever does lose value to the point that it's worth only half of what it's worth now because of you, I'm going to make you pay up for that half lost.
What the heck, Ruth? Did I really just see you coming in and out of your apartment building again? You were already told by Julian that you're no longer allowed in there. I was seen by you again? You really have nothing better to do with your time or something? The only reason I was able to see you is because I could smell your filth coming close to this place again. I can smell you for miles, actually. Huh? I'll be kind this time and let you off the hook. As your little sister, I'll shut up and not tell Julian anything about this. But in exchange for my kindness, don't ever come here again. Please. The only people allowed into that apartment building are those that live there. It is not the place for some depressed homeless person to be wandering in and out of. So what you're saying is as long as I'm living here, I can go in and out? Well, then there should be no problem with me being in that building. What? I forgot to mention this, but starting today, I'm living in that apartment building again, which means no matter how much you tell me to stay away, I don't have to listen to you. You, of all people, are living here? Come on now. You can't just start telling such paper-thin lies now. I can see right through them. You really thought you were going to fool me with that one? What? I wasn't lying to you, though. Ruth, since when did you become such a freaking idiot? There's no way someone who lost both their apartment and their husband will be able to afford a room in a building like that, right? Can't you see that this whole place is one of the most expensive apartment buildings on the block? And I can pay for an apartment there. And that's why I live there now. No, you live in a park somewhere, Ruth. Stop trying to sound all tough and go back to your cardboard house, you loser. But I have always lived in that building, and that's why I did everything I could to get back there. Then show me your place right now. I want to go and see the room that you're paying for. I'm sure you can't show me any room in that building though, right? Because you actually live in a cold and damp park somewhere. Now come on, Ruth, start telling me the truth. Because if you don't, I'm going to have to put you down even further. No matter what I have to say, all you want to think is that I'm homeless and live in a park. It's been 6 years now since the divorce. I may have lived in the park for a little bit, but after 6 years, you don't think I've moved into a new place of my own? I don't think so, because that would be impossible for you. You were a housewife when that divorce happened, so you had no way of finding yourself a new job or anything that would bring you any significant income. The only life you had left for yourself after Julian left you was living under a bridge or behind a bench at some park. If anything, the way you've been looking recently just goes to show you don't have a proper house or anything on your own. What was that? Just confess already, Ruth. Everybody already knows you still live in a cardboard box. If you can just tell me the truth, then maybe next time Julian and I can come and see you at your house. Which park are you living right now? If you don't mind, we'd love to bring you some more boxes to help you expand your house. Take a look at the very top floor of that apartment building. That's where I'm living. What? So you both can keep those boxes. I don't need that kind of useless waste in my room. Also, you both don't have to come and see my place. I only just got this place and I wouldn't want its value being ruined by the two of you. You live all the way up there? This is such a stupid joke, Ruth. There's no way in hell that you would be able to afford that penthouse. Now you listen here. That penthouse is reserved for Julian and I for when he buys his whole building. Julian is in talks right now with the owner of the building and that room, and we will be buying it off him really soon. So there's no freaking way that penthouse would ever become yours. And that owner you have been talking about giving this penthouse to me. He told me he was fine with letting me have it. Huh? Too bad for Julian, who has been trying so hard to get this place in the building. But I'm the owner of this penthouse now, so please let him know he can stop trying now. The building's owner no longer wants to talk with Julian. Since this penthouse is mine now, and the owner does not want to sell his building... No, flippin' away. Do you have any idea how much that penthouse costs? Do you have any idea how many millions that penthouse costs? No freaking way a homeless and jobless loser like you can afford that. Tell me, Indy. Since when did I say that I'm still homeless and unemployed? I haven't lived in a park for over 5 years now, and as for work, my company is doing just fine and has been for years. I don't think I have to worry about money ever again now that I have my company bringing in all this dough. What? You're a company owner? You have your own business? I really worked my butt off after becoming homeless, and as for the owner of this apartment building, he's always been helping out in the homeless in the city. That's how I first met him, and since then, he has done a lot for me. He even helped me get my company started, and moving along from there... You liar! What kind of poor joke is that? Because all you were 6 years ago was a housewife and nothing else! So there's no way I'm believing that you actually have a company of your own now! As long as one has the drive and the willpower... they can do anything they put their minds to. What? 6 years ago, I was really down on my luck. I lost both my house and my husband and was considering if it was even worth living anymore. But look, the owner of this building found me and made sure to give me the support I need. He told me to fight for the revenge I needed to get my ex-husband. And then he said if I could achieve my revenge, I could do anything I wanted. So I've been fighting forever now. And all in order to get my revenge. Yeah, your revenge? That's right. And that revenge of mine is making sure that I end up on top of you both, literally and figuratively. So by fighting for that, I was able to get myself here, into this penthouse where I'll be living now. All I had to do was start up a successful company and then start making bank doing the kind of work I was meant for. I was then able to sell a lot of stocks from my company and get the money I needed for a place like this. No, hold on a sec. No way. That penthouse costs millions to live in. You're telling me you make that much with your company right now? Please understand that I'm not going to be able to buy this place in one lump payment, alright? I made sure to take out a loan, and will be paying for this place over time. But the owner was nice enough to have the price for me, because he is just that kind. Honestly, I'm going to need to watch my spending now, though, because that's just how expensive this place is. But this is just how badly I want to get back into the building you and Julian threw me out of. Now I'm going to make you both suffer for what you've done to me. No way! Now that you're aware of the truth, you can stop telling me to leave that building, alright? I happen to be living at the top of that place now, and will be for as long as I want. Also, remember this, please. I am very close with the owner of the building, so if you would like to continue living in it, then please be more thoughtful of what you have to say to me.
Yo, Ruth, what the hell is going on here? You were able to get that penthouse? How the hell were you able to get that stingy old fart to sell it to you?
I never was able to get him to do anything for me. I've just been close to the owner of this building is all.
What?
By the way, he's not some stingy old fart either. He's a very open-minded man, with a heart that is open to everyone and anyone who is willing to respect him.
What are you talking about? That old fart is so freaking stingy that I wasn't even able to spark a conversation with him half the time. Recently, he hasn't even been willing to stop and talk with me at all. Anytime I'd walk up to him, he'd just tell me he wouldn't sell me a thing before walking away. How the hell does that make him open-minded and caring?
You and your wife have been the one disrespecting him, right? He tried to give you both the benefit of the doubt at first, but all you guys had to say to him were very rude remarks. No matter how open-minded he may be, he is not some kind of sucker who is willing to talk with those who don't bother showing him some respect that he deserves.
What kind of disrespectful things have we said? What have we done that's so wrong?
The first time you came to the penthouse with him to get a tour, you guys started to make poor comments about the man. Indy told him the penthouse was being left to rot by having an old man living in it, and then she told him to give the place to you both because you both are still young and cuttered. That's what he told me you both were saying.
I was never saying that. All of that came out of Indy's mouth, right? And she was only saying those things because she was excited to get that place.
But as her husband, you didn't do anything to shut her up. You didn't even bother to apologize for what she was saying. Actually, I've been told you stood up right beside her and agreed with everything she was saying.
What?
I've also been told that both of you wouldn't listen to how much he wanted to keep the penthouse the way it was, and that you both start to talk about your plans for major renovations to the place right in front of him. He tried to ask you both to stop talking like that, only to get told to shut up and that he didn't know anything about the interior design but you, Julian. So no, it wasn't just Indy who was making poor comments about him.
That was...
You really think someone would want to sell you their penthouse and their apartment building after being told things like that? Guess what I've been told by the owner? This penthouse has to stay the way it is because he has tons of memories with his wife in this place. He only wanted to sell it to someone who would not mess with the overall interior and would enjoy living in its vintage theme.
We were going to take very good care of that place and enjoy it though.
No, you weren't. You guys don't even respect the apartment building in which you live right now.
Excuse me?
The owner of this building, he wasn't going around helping the homeless of this city. He wasn't only going around helping the homeless in this city. He has also volunteered at a lot of places all around here. And because of that, he's heard all kinds of things. And he's heard a lot about the kinds of people you and Indy are in the eyes of the other residents here and outside of here. Sounds like you're not only trying to act all high and mighty within the apartment building, but on the streets as well. I'm going to become the next owner of this apartment building, so don't you ever go against me.
Ah.
And what's this about you just parking your car wherever you like in the parking garage? You also love to have your friends park their cars in other people's spots without asking. Huh, there's also talk about you never following any of the rules regarding trash disposal and recycling. To put it straight, you live life here like you're the king, doing whatever you want in the place. And when it comes to those who have tried to correct you, you think it's okay to say that to the future owner of this place? You're literally threatening the other residents here, Julian.
I am not threatening them. I'm just warning them is all.
One and the same. Nobody is going to want to sell this apartment building to you, let alone their precious penthouse. But luckily, I'm here now to take this penthouse away from your greedy little hands and let you know to screw off. If you can understand that now, then stop.
For crying out loud. I only had a little bit longer to wait before making this place mine. Why the hell were you able to get that penthouse before me?
I know I haven't told you this yet, but from here on out, would you please call me Miss Shelton? I'm not associated with you anymore, so don't ever call me by my first name ever again. Now, from here on out, I ask that you please follow the rules of this place and respect this apartment building, like your life of living here depends on it. Help me, Ruth! I'm asking you to please let me come and take refuge at your place! What? What do you need to come and take refuge with me? Julian and I just got into a massive fight! At first, we were just having a calm discussion and all, but then it turned into us both starting to get really heated up. The inside of our place is in the ruins now, and Julian is so furious that he can't even sit still anymore. He just kicked me out of the house and won't let me back into it. Oh my. That's a really difficult situation. I have nowhere to go right now, though. That's why I need you to let me come crash in your room for a while. The penthouse you have up there is really spacious, right? You shouldn't mind only me coming there to stay for a while, right? I guess looking at this without any feelings attached, there's no problem with you staying here, but I have feelings for you. A lot of them! So you're not coming here to stay with me. What? Why not? You know why, right? You're the one that stole my husband from me, and then kicked me out of my place and made me homeless. I have no reason to be helping an asshole like you right now. But right now, I'm really in trouble! If things don't change at all, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be divorced! Are you going to just abandon me at a time like this? I have learned my lesson now. I really mean that. I'm so sorry for all the things I took from you. I will continue to apologize for all of that, so please don't abandon me now. What makes you think things can be so easy for you in this world? If you let me come and stay with you, I'll do anything you ask. You are really busy right now having to manage that company, right? I'll take care of all the chores in your house while you're out working. I'll cook for you, clean for you, do the laundry for you. I'll do everything for you. Let us use this chance for us to become close to one another again as sisters. No freaking way. If you've really been kicked out of your place, then the only home you have now is a park. I'd hurry up and get to making a nice cardboard house there. What? Congratulations on being upgraded to homeless, Indy. I'm sure this is one huge 180 for you, but please try your best to survive. Your older sister was able to climb out of that hopeless life, so I'm sure you can do it as well. There's no way. I don't have the kind of guts you have, Ruth, but please let me stay with you! Huh? It's almost time for me to go to work. I've got to get going now. Have fun out there in the cold and damp park you made yourself home. If you do want my recommendation for a good park, the one close to the main train station is my favorite. There are plenty of nice trees there to hide under, and considering it's the beginning of summer now, you'll find it quite warm. Now, best of luck as you start collecting some cardboard boxes. After that, quite a few more fights broke out between Indy and Julian. But in the end, it was decided that they're going to be getting a divorce. Indy was forced to stay out of that apartment and really did have to find a park somewhere to start living in a couple of cardboard boxes. As for Julian, after he got that divorce, he came right back to me asking for us to get back together. He was being so invasive, asking me all these things all the time and trying to force me to go back to him, that I called the police and reported him as a stalker. And not too long after bringing this up with the owner of the apartment building, he went and had a word with Julian. I was also able to get a restraining order on Julian, which means that he could no longer approach me within 200 feet and could not come up to my penthouse anymore. The news of this went and spread to a lot of the other residents within the building, and they all started to act even more distant around him. The owner also asked Julian to let him come and see his place for a routine checkup after what had happened, and there he found the place was still a complete mess after all the fighting Julian and Indy had got into. The walls were all tattered, and the carpet was stained with what could have been wine or blood. This led to the owner asking for Julian to start paying him for all the damage to the place, and soon Julian was out of $10,000 and kicked out of the apartment. I really hope whoever moves into that apartment next is a much more kind person and can learn to get along with the rest of the people in this apartment building.
Tina, are you there? Don't you know you're about to be scammed with this wedding of yours? You have to go to the police right now. I'm serious. Wait a second. Rachel, what in the world are you talking about right now? I mean that I heard the big news while I was at the office today. I mean, about you finally getting married, that is. Also, wow, I can't believe that you're not married until right now. What are you, like 35 years old already? Man, you're an old maid. Do you know that? Excuse me? I don't see what this has to do with anything at all. Thank you very much. Look, this isn't even what I wanted to talk to you about, really. But I know that you're happy for your wedding. It's just, you need to know that you're being scammed right now. I mean it. I mean, do you really think that anyone in this world would actually marry someone like you? You need to stop all this nonsense and realize that no man would ever want to marry you, and that this has got to be a scam. Well, thank you so much for wanting to look out for me, Rachel. But I know for a fact this isn't a scam. And there's nothing wrong with me getting married at the age that I am. You know, every single person who has ever been scammed doesn't believe it's happening until it's too late. I'm just trying to warn you now, so that you don't make mistakes in the future. After all, I would hate for you to be made a fool of later. And just what is that supposed to mean? Oh, come on! You know that there's all kinds of stories of poor, old women always getting into these scam marriages. But I guess that just tells you something about lonely middle-aged women. All I'm saying is that you shouldn't rush into these kinds of things. I'll have you know that I'm not rushing into anything at all. I've thought about what I'm doing, and we're already legally married on paper. In fact, we literally share a home together. So, in what way am I getting scammed right now? Wait a second. You mean that you two already had your legal marriage? You signed all the paperwork and everything? That's right. We did all of that sometime last week. We went to the courthouse and had a mini ceremony. It was really very nice. So, I really don't see how I'm being scammed at all. Please tell me that you're lying to me right now. I mean, did you seriously get married? At your age? Well, I guess there really are a bunch of freaks out there who might be into that. But let me guess. You probably ended up with some nasty 70-year-old man or something like that, right? Are you being serious right now? Did you really just ask me that? Well, I'm just saying that you're already 35 years old, aren't you? It's not like any handsome young man would want to be with someone like you. Actually, if you really must know, my husband is 7 years younger. So now you know that. And I'll let you know that he makes me very happy and is very happy to be with me. And you really don't know what you're talking about. Oh, come on, give me a break. Please tell me that at least that one was a joke. Are you telling me that you're really tricked some poor young man into marrying you? I can't believe this. How could you do that to someone who has their whole life ahead of them? You really are just so selfish, do you know that? Well, at least I'm not trying to talk bad out of marriage that I have no clue about. But anyways, if you could keep out of my private life, I would really appreciate it, you know? I mean, I should be clear with you that you're nothing but a coworker to me. So you really shouldn't be saying any of this to me in the first place. Wait, just 1 second. Can you at least tell me what day it is that you're going to be getting married? I mean, you are still having a ceremony, aren't you? Please. I just want to know what day it is that you're going to be having your wedding with your husband. If you really do want to know, we're going to be having our wedding at the end of next month. We're both very busy with work right now and won't have time until then. But, just why would you want to know about that anyway? Oh, I see. So you're going to be getting married at the end of next month, is that right? Great! Then I'll be sure to have my wedding around the same exact time as yours. And I'll be sure to invite everyone from work so that they'll all come to my wedding instead. Oh, I see what you're trying to do here. Well, I was actually going to be giving everyone invitations to my wedding tomorrow. Oh, that really is just so sad. Why would you even try to expose them to that? I mean, why force them to watch some sad old lady walk down the aisle? They'll all be watching you with pity, you know? But don't worry. That's why I'll have my wedding around then, so they can all forget about your crappy one. And then they can enjoy going to a wedding with an actually beautiful bride and not some old hag like you. I have to say, Rachel, I didn't know that you were even planning on getting married before this. Well, actually, I was just talking to my boyfriend and we agreed that we'd get married next month. He told me that he would do it whenever I asked him to. That's how much my boyfriend loves me. He would do anything for me and all I need to do is ask. So I'm going to be having my wedding on the exact same day as yours. Oh, really? Well, thank you for telling me all of that, I guess. Anyways, I've got to go now. I have lots of calls to make and reservations to arrange. So you just make sure everyone's in high spirits when it's finally time for my wedding, okay?
Tina, are you there? I'm so sorry for not answering your calls earlier. I was wrapped up with work, and I wasn't looking at my phone at all.
Well, I just needed to talk to you a bit about the wedding is all. I was wondering how you felt about maybe choosing a new day to do it on.
Wait, what? You want to change the day of our wedding? But we've already booked everything for the day that we choose. I don't understand. We already printed out all the invitations with the original day on them. We can't just change things like this.
Yeah, I suppose you're right about that. It would be too much to try and change the day at this point, right?
I think it would. But what would make you even ask that in the first place? I mean, is there some kind of trouble at work that's popped up on the day we're supposed to be getting married?
Well, it is something, or rather someone at work, but it's nothing about actual work itself. I just have this really annoying coworker who said she's planning on having her wedding on the same exact day as ours.
Hold on a second. You have a coworker wanting to get married on the day that we're going to have ours?
Yeah. She wants to prove that nobody wants to go to a wedding for an old woman like me. So, to prove that, she's going to have her wedding on the same day and invite everyone from the office to hers. I guess she wants to show that she can throw a better wedding than I can.
But I mean, that's so cruel to try to ruin someone's special day for a reason that petty. And who cares at what age you're getting married at?
Well, I guess this coworker has a serious problem with me for some reason. I just really don't get it, to be honest with you. But I guess she just wants to have her fun making fun of me for being older than her at my wedding. She even told me that she's convinced our whole marriage was just a scam.
Wait, what? Did she really say that? What is this girl's problem? Why would she even say something like that? I assume that this girl's beneath you in the company, right? Just who does she think she is, doing all this?
I think she's the kind of girl who thinks that she can get away with anything she wants because she's pretty. She is always messing around at work and driving people crazy. And I guess she has a chip on her shoulder about her age. That's probably why she's so eager to try and prove that she can outperform me.
But that's crazy. You've been at the company for so long, and you're such a hard worker. She doesn't really think she can just show you up like that, does she? I mean, doesn't she know that you've been Employee of the Year for basically the last 5 years?
I think that might be a part of why she hates me so much. And I think that this little stunt with our wedding just proves it. But I don't know. It just feels like she's always trying to bring me down, you know?
Well, I don't think that we should have to change the date of our wedding just to appease a little brat. And I know that the people from our office will come to our wedding.
But she's right, isn't she? I mean, I am just another old lady getting married to a younger guy. I don't know. Do you really think that anyone would want to go to a wedding like that? I really just can't see why anyone would want to see someone like me get married.
Stop all of that talk. Tina, you are my beautiful fiancé, and you're going to look even more stunning on the day of our wedding. Come on. Just think about how much we've been looking forward to this. You can't just let some random woman from work bring you down like this. I promise that we've already had people from your office saying that they will definitely be going there. So I don't think you have anything to worry about in terms of your coworkers showing up. We're going to be getting on that day we set, and that's it. I mean, did you even know that your boss called and left a long message about how excited and happy he was for the both of us? He also went on about how much you do for the company. I think that you have more people in your corner at work than you think, but I'm sorry that it didn't feel that way for you.
Wait a second. Did my boss really say all of those things? I had no idea.
Like I said, I think that you're more loved than you think over there, and we've got plenty of other similar messages from your other coworkers. A lot of them really look up to you and are really thankful that you're the one that showed them the ropes around there. So I don't think you have anything to worry about when it comes to people from work coming to our wedding. And besides, you know that no matter what, I'll do all that I can to make you happy. I wouldn't even mind quitting my job so that you can just concentrate on yours.
I don't know what to say to all of this. I guess I didn't even realize.
And that's why I'm here, to let you know that there are a lot of people out there who really love you and will be at our wedding.
I guess you're right. Now that I think about it, there was a lot of excitement when I made the announcement at work. I was afraid that nobody would want to go after what Rachel was saying, though.
Yeah, I mean, she sounds like a real pain in the neck to deal with. If I had to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever heard of someone doing what she's doing.
She actually showed up at our office not long after you left your position here. So I guess it's no wonder why you hadn't heard of her before now.
Well, either way, I think that you should just forget all about her and don't let her little stunt make us less excited for our big day.
You're right. Thank you so much for talking to me about this. I really can't wait to marry you, Cameron. We're so close to having everything ready. I know that we can do this. So tell me, Tina, how does it feel today, huh? How does it feel knowing that nobody is going to show up to your lame wedding? I bet that you've been bawling your eyes out all day, isn't that right? Oh, hey Rachel. Sorry, what are you talking about right now? I just wanted to know how it felt to have your entire wedding venue completely empty. After all, I know that not a single person from the office would have shown up there, right? I doubt that anyone showed up to your wedding at all, actually. So tell me, do you finally get that you've lost? Do you finally understand that nobody wants to see an old hag like you get married? Actually, that's kind of the same question I was wanting to ask you. How do you feel right now? Because everyone from work is already here. They've all arrived at the wedding. What are you talking about? You must mean that they're all coming to my wedding so that they can watch me get married. After all, I picked out such an amazing dress that I just know I'm going to get so many compliments at work from it. And I've rented an extra large venue to hold everyone who's going to show up here. You really think that many people are going to be showing up to your wedding? I mean, certainly more people are going to be showing up at my wedding than your wedding. And just to think, all the hard work you put in is going to nothing. You even handed out your sad little invitations to everyone at the work. But, like I said, nobody wants to go to a wedding just to watch an old hag like you get married. I'm sorry, but everyone here is just laughing so hard at you right now. What are you talking about? What's that supposed to mean? I mean that we just finished the ceremony and now we're all stepping out to get pictures taken. But everyone from work is here with me right now, like I said. And I'm telling them about the things that you're saying to me, and we're all just laughing right now. I don't understand. What do you mean the people from work are all there? And they're laughing at me right now? That doesn't make any sense. Well, everyone from work but you is here at my wedding right now. So you don't have to apologize for anything. Because after all, you didn't really do anything to stop or hurt my wedding at all. Wait a second! How? I don't understand! Why is everyone at your wedding today? Don't they know that I'm getting married as well? I think that they do. And that's why they all chose to come to my wedding instead of yours. So, anyways, what were you saying about wanting to know how it felt to not have anyone at your wedding? Because you were so full of yourself asking me that earlier, but now it seems like you've stopped being so high and mighty. But how about it? Do you want to tell me how you feel right now? I don't! This doesn't make any sense at all! How could this be happening? I don't know what you mean. I'm only asking what you asked me. I mean, why aren't they all here at my wedding? Why are they at yours? Don't they know you're just an old hag? Yeah, nobody at the office really feels that way about me at all. It took me a while to figure it out, but everyone is actually just so annoyed with how you act all the time. But now that it's all clear to me, I can see why nobody would choose to go to your wedding over mine. But this can't be happening! They were all supposed to be here to see me get married, not you! How could they all do this to me? Don't they know that I'm so much cuter and prettier and better than you? Hey, sorry you're having this little breakdown, but I actually have to get back to enjoying my wedding with everyone here. Oh, shut up! You think this means anything? You think you're better than me because people showed up to your wedding? This doesn't mean anything at all. I'm still better than you. Everyone at work knows this. You won't get away with this, you know. Are you sure about that? Because it kind of seems like I already have. But anyways, enjoy your sad, empty wedding. Like I said, I have people that need attending to here. I guess I'll see you at work though. Have a nice weekend. After that, I heard through the grapevine that Rachel ended up canceling her whole wedding. She even broke up with her fiancé, although I didn't even know who he was to begin with. After we all did return to the office, basically everyone there knew exactly what kind of person that Rachel was and the kind of things that she had said to me, and nobody wanted anything to do with her at all. Of course, since she ended up having to pay for all of her wedding plans, I heard that she basically just wasted a ton of money on this little scheme of hers. Now she can't even make eye contact with me and practically anyone in the office. She just sits at her desk working hard so she can pay off all the debt that she accrued planning her wedding.
Hey, Carla, I'm sorry to ask, but I'm going to go out drinking after work, so would you mind making sure that dinner's ready for me when I get home?
Oh, is there some kind of party or something going on tonight, Victor?
Well, since tomorrow's our wedding, I figured this is my last chance to enjoy the single life, you know? So Tom arranged for a couple of other guys to come along, and we're going to have a big boys' night out.
Oh, I should have guessed it was Tom. Well, in that case, you have to go out, don't you? Actually, now that you say that though, I was going to tell you that I have dinner plans with Samantha tonight as well.
Oh, so you're going out with some friends tonight as well then? Or just Samantha? Either way, it's been forever since the two of you hung out.
It really has. It seems like she's always so busy all of the time these days. This was her first open day to meet me for dinner in like months. So you can have your boys' night and we'll have our girls' night. And then tomorrow, you and I are getting married. Actually, it seems that Samantha has already made reservations at some kind of fancy restaurant for us.
Well then, sound like a fun night then. I guess that means that we'll both be eating tonight though, right? So let's make sure we don't get too messed up before the big day, yeah?
Yes, I agree. I would hate to be hungover at my own wedding. And you make sure to take care too. I know how much Tom likes to drink, but you don't have to keep up with him.
That's a good point. I'll have fun, but I won't go crazy. Sound good? Anyways, we're all going to meet up right after work, so I won't be getting back home until quite late.
Got it. Okay then. Hope you have fun. Hey Carla, are you there? I actually just woke up right now. I'm really sorry to do this so suddenly, but I'm afraid I won't be able to make it to your wedding today. I mean, it's happening in 10 minutes. There's no way I can get ready in that time. I was wondering when I was going to hear from you. I was starting to get worried, but you were really just sleeping in? Where were you last night? I waited at the restaurant for forever, but you never came, and you weren't picking up your phone either. I know. I'm so sorry about that. I actually totally forgot we had plans last night. I ended up going out with some other people to drink somewhere else. Are you serious? You really forgot that we made plans together? But you were the one who invited me out in the first place. And you made these plans with me the morning of the night. We were supposed to meet up. How could you forget something like that? I'm sorry, but these things just happen, you know? I've been so busy with work and sometimes things just fly out of my head to make room for new information. So, yeah, so sorry that I ended up standing you up last night. That was my bad. I know that you've been really busy lately, but does that mean you're really not going to be coming to my wedding today? I'm already over yesterday, but you're my friend, and I really wanted you to be there for me today. I know, but how am I supposed to get ready for a wedding in 10 minutes? I literally just woke up. There is no way that I'm going to be able to make it on time. You know, you can show up late. I really don't mind. Just as long as you end up making it for any of the wedding, I'll be happy. I really wanted you to be here to help me celebrate this moment in my life. Oh, really? I guess I just didn't really think that we were that close of friends.
I mean, I certainly don't feel like dragging myself out of bed just to show up to your wedding this late.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
I mean that I'm with a guy right now and I don't feel like kicking him out to rush to your wedding. Besides, that would be totally rude to this really cute guy.
No, I mean, do you not consider me a good friend, Samantha? Also, is this guy you're with right now the reason that you canceled our plans last night?
No, he's just some cutie I picked up at the bar last night, but I didn't invite him out or anything like that. Well, I say some cutie, but I guess I should just say Victor, huh? Man, he really is a good-looking guy, though.
Wait, Victor? What do you mean by that?
Aw, Carla, I'm afraid to say that neither I nor your fiancé is going to be showing up to your wedding today. In fact, you might as well cancel the whole thing right now, because I slept with your fiancé.
Hold on, I don't understand. What's going on here? What do you mean you slept with Victor?
I mean just that. I took Victor home with me last night, and we had sex. Has no one really even noticed that our fiancé isn't there 10 minutes before things are supposed to start? Aw, I really am so sorry that I had to go and do that. Poor Victor had a bit too much to drink last night, and he's been in the bathroom since this morning. You can call him all you want, but I doubt he's going to notice or want to answer in the state that he's in.
What? So you're really telling the truth about all of this then? I thought that Victor went out drinking with a couple of guy friends. Why would they let him go with you? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, he was out with friends when I just happened to end up at the same bar. It really was all a coincidence. I guess we both just got so caught up with each other that we forgot all about you. But yeah, I walked into the bar and saw Victor there, walked up to his group and asked if I could join in. I mean, there was no way I could let a chance like this go by.
A chance like that? What do you even mean by that?
Well, the truth is that I've always been attracted to Victor. He's handsome and tall, and I hear he's filthy rich too. He's the perfect catch. I knew that I had to make him mine if it was the last thing I did.
I don't even know what to say.
And to think I ran into him on the day before his wedding. Sometimes the universe really does love you. I think that Victor must have felt the same about me since after he drank a ton, he told me that he always liked me.
Victor told you that he liked you? Are you kidding me?
Of course I'm not. He said that, and I knew then that I had the green light. I mean, he never ever used to notice me. Like, do you remember the barbecue that he had last summer that everyone showed up to? I think that was when I first fell in love with him, even if he had no idea who I was.
You have got to be kidding me, right?
No, I mean, that was the first time that I ever had seen someone so handsome. I knew right then that I just had to make him mine. So I stuck around until his friends had left Victor alone at the bar, and then I invited him back to my place. And then, well, I'm sure you can guess what happens after that.
I don't even want to imagine it. How can this be happening? I had no idea that you felt so strongly about him. But how could you do this to me on the day before I was supposed to marry him?
Well, you were going to find out sooner or later, so better that I told you than someone else. But you really didn't think anything was up when your fiancé still hasn't ever shown up? I mean, you've tried calling him when he wouldn't answer, right? What more proof do you need that I'm telling the truth about being with him right now? Don't you get it? He chose me over you!
No, that can't be. I refuse to believe it.
I knew that you would act like this. But are you really even that surprised? I mean, it's obvious that I'm the cuter one out of us both. I still don't understand how someone hasn't snatched me up yet, much less how you were going to get married before me. But now, I'm going to marry my perfect man, and I'll have the best husband out of all my friends.
How can you even say something like that? I mean, were you really never happy that I was going to be getting married?
Why would I ever be happy about something like that, huh? I was always hoping that something was going to happen and that the engagement was going to fall apart. We might have been good friends in college, but lately, all you've been doing is really getting on my nerves. Unlike you, I actually did something with my life after college. Ever since you left town for the big city though, you are always acting like you're way better than us poor little townies. Well, how does it feel to be on the other end of this now,
What
What do you mean? Was I really acting that way? I promise that I never meant to. You think that just because you found a good job that pays well, that you could just lord it all over the rest of us, huh? You buy your expensive personal trainer, your designer makeup, your fancy clothes, all to run in our face what poor little bumpkins we are, huh? Do you really think that that's what I was trying to do? It was never about that. I was only ever trying to be the person that I wanted to be. But I never ever was trying to put anyone down while doing that. Oh, please. You really thought that you could escape your roots? I know who you are deep down. You can try to be yourself all you want. There's only one true you, and it's inescapable. And it's the fact that you never could realize that made me so mad. But that's not right. You've got it all wrong. Oh, please. You think I'm going to buy that when you dared try to get married before me? It was someone who's just my type too? If you thought that I was going to let you get away with that, you're dead wrong. And now I've done it. I've ruined your wedding and stopped it from ever happening. You know what I think, Samantha? I think that you made plans and then canceled last minute on purpose. And I don't think that you just happened to bump into Victor either. I think that this was your plan all along. Do you really think a sweet innocent girl like me would be capable of doing something so devious? Because you would be right on the money if you did. And now I've gotten what I always wanted. You're right. In fact, I'm crushed about everything that you've just said. And the fact that you came up with a whole plot to try and steal Victor from me. I had no idea you wanted to sabotage my wedding so badly. Well, you better wipe up your tears and tell everyone that the wedding is off. After all, you can't have a wedding with no groom. You better start packing up to go home because it's all over. I won. Except that my fiancé is standing right here next to me. Wait, what do you mean? I mean, the wedding isn't canceled and everything is going according to schedule. But anyways, have a nice life, I guess. Glad to know that you were never really my friend. I'm sorry it had to end like this, but I'm glad to know the truth. Now, hold on just a second. What do you mean that everything is going according to schedule? And how can your fiancé be standing there next to you if he's here at my place right now? You're not making sense at all. Well, maybe I can explain this. Since I am, after all, right here with Carla. Wait, what is this? I just think that this is all going to be explained easier if I do the talking. I actually really did have a fun time talking and drinking with you last night, but I never had any intentions of marrying you. And I also never ever told you that I liked you. What's going on here? Is this some kind of joke or something? This is Victor, right? I don't get it. Why are you texting me from Carla's number? You're supposed to be here in my room right now. What's happening? I got you drunk last night and you told me that you've always liked me. You asked me out on a date. I'm afraid that you were mixing me up for one of my friends. I was the other guy sitting at the table. Wait, I slept with one of your friends? Yeah, it was my buddy Tom. And you were the one who told him that you always liked him. Do you really not remember any of this at all? What do you mean? Of course I remember. I remember you telling me that you always liked me. You did it in a bar in front of your friends and you were really, really serious. That's the whole reason why I lied about inviting Carla out in the first place. I mean, I did think that it was weird running into you all dressed up at a bar where we were at. Especially since Carla told me that she had planned to grant dinner with you that night. I got even more suspicious when you started ordering really strong drinks for me. So I went up to the bar and asked them for watered down anything they gave me. You did? But I didn't know about that. Yeah, I did it in a way that you wouldn't noticed. Except I didn't do the same for Tom, and he just kept getting drunker and drunker. And then by the end of the night, you two were practically all over each other. But you weren't the one that I was all over? I thought that it was you. Well, it wasn't. It was my buddy that you were flirting with the whole time. You confessed to him, and he said that he always liked you. But no, that can't be right. I swear that I said all that to you. Well, you didn't. And I went home before it got too late since it was clear that you two were wanting some time alone together. This can't be happening. I was wondering if Tom was going to be okay to show up today. I thought he might have brought you along as his +1 or something. I tried calling to make sure he was okay, but when I didn't pick up, I was wondering if he was still at your place or something. So then, you really mean that you and I didn't spend last night together? And that I really just invited your friend over instead? Are you really asking me that? why don't you just go look at the guy that you brought home and see for yourself? But he's in the bathroom puking since before I woke up. He drank too much last night and now he won't come out. Yeah, that sounds about right. He never really knew his limits when it comes to drinking. And I'm sure he was in the mood to drink even more after you told him how much you liked him. Anyways, once he's out puking his guts out, you should ask him. Tell him he owes me a bottle of something nice for missing the wedding too, okay? Alright then, Carla and I are off to getting married. Carla, are you there? I'm in big trouble. The man in my bathroom finally walked out, and it wasn't actually Victor. I asked who he was, and he said he was Victor's friend Tom. Wow, he just walked out of the bathroom now? The wedding is almost over at this point. You mean that you two really got married? Uh-huh, duh. Why wouldn't we have? I mean, the bride and groom were here, and besides a couple last-minute cancellations, all the guests arrived too. It was sad seeing some of the chairs empty, but Victor and I just hoped it meant that you two were still enjoying getting to know each other. What are you talking about? I'm not going out with Tom. You think I want to be a drunk like him? But you two were all over each other last night. You even told him that you loved him, and then you invited him back to your place as well. I thought you two were going to go official any day now. I only said that because I thought that I was talking to Victor. I thought that I had stolen your husband away from you, but I got the wrong guy. I don't care about his stupid friend. I wanted Victor. As soon as I learned who he really was, I kicked that Tom guy out on the street and told him to get lost. You kicked Tom out of your place? Of course I did. Why would I want him around if he was never my target in the first place? I mean, he wasn't even good looking. Do you really mean all that? I don't think that's fair for you to be putting down someone just because you're upset that you made a drunken mistake. No, I finally remembered seeing Tom at the BBQ last summer. I remembered always thinking that he was a creepy little guy. You really mean that? Of course I do. He's so basic and weird and just... why would I ever want to be with someone like him? I would rather be single for the rest of my life. Do you get it now? Wow, you have some strong feelings about this, huh? That's right. He's weird and he doesn't even have a good job. So I just don't see any benefits of being with someone like him. That's why I threw him out. And you really think that you're such a great catch? Because Tom is actually the son of a really famous CEO. But you really threw him out of your place? Wait, what did you just say? He's the son of a famous CEO? That's right. In fact, he's even been in commercials for his family's company before. He's the son of that real big estate company with billboards all over town. Hold on a second. Are you kidding me? Not at all. And to think that you were so close to getting to go out with him. Even Victor can't believe how you fumbled that. You made a lot of big mistakes this past 24 hours, huh? Oh, crap. This is really bad. I had no idea who he really was. I need to get him back right now. I'll tell him I was just hungover and I didn't mean what I said. Then he'll come back and everything will be okay. Yeah, I really don't think that's going to work. This is your story of how you almost landed a big one. But what should I do? This is all just one big mistake. I didn't mean to. Please, you have to help me. You're married to his best friend. You can fix this for me. Sorry, but I really don't have any good reasons why I should help you. You can't be serious, right? I mean, you said that we aren't really even friends, so I just don't see why I would. No, come on. You know that I didn't really mean that. I was just joking around. You can make up all the excuses you want, but I'm not going to be having any of it. Hope you have a nice life. And if you do somehow get Tom back, please don't try and hang out with us ever. But why not? It's really a shame that things had to end up this way between us, but I guess sometimes the sound of one door closing is really just another door opening. After that, Samantha tried her best to get Tom to take her back, but he wasn't having any of it. Once he learned that she only wanted him because she thought he was Victor, he lost all interest in her. He even blamed her for missing our wedding and said that he never wanted to see her again. It wasn't long before everyone knew about what Samantha had done. Tom come over to Victor and I's house to formally apologize for missing out the wedding. To make up for it, he agreed to pay for whatever hotel we decided to book our honeymoon at.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.